So good morning, everyone, and I hope you're having a good Easter. I hope you had a really great Easter and the Easter Bunny was really kind to you and that you have been having a good week and being good to the people in your family. So this morning, I wanted to do a craft with you, and a craft about the story that we're going to hear in church when we go to church in our pajamas. Do you watch church in your pajamas? Usually, yes, you watch church in your pajamas. I won't be in my pajamas, but I wanted to do a craft. I'll be there. I know, but I wanted to do a craft. So the first thing that we're going to need for our craft is some paper, and it can be any color. I just grabbed some yellow and some blue paper. If Dad grabs some pink paper for you, it can be pink. And we've got scissors. So we have Amelia's scissors. Pretty sure these are Amelia's scissors. Yep, and Mother Liz scissors. And if you want, you can use a glue stick. Oh, here comes the piece of pink paper.
It went on the fire.
Yeah, let's move the candle over. And you can also get some markers and things like that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to pick a color that you can see. Purple. And you might need help doing it. Yeah?
How do you make a paper?
Well, I'll show you how to make a paper airplane later, but right now we're going to make a hand, okay? So you're going to put your hand smack in the middle of the page. You put your hand smack in the middle of the page? You can smack it harder than that. Awesome. Now this is where it's nice to have someone that helps. You want purple. You're right. I'm sorry. You wanted purple. You can do me in blue. Okay. And you want to trace. So it's helpful if you have someone, a grown-up, a sibling, somebody else trace your hand for you. It's just easier. Okay? So that's your hand. Can you do my hand for me now?
My hand's big.
Your hand's bigger than you thought. Okay, I do my hand in blue. Always put the lids back on your markers. Otherwise, what happens to markers in this house if I find them without a lid?
You throw them in the garbage.
I throw them in the garbage. Yeah, I do. I just got so tired of finding the lids. You guys are a little more careful now.
Me.
Oh,
It's a little too big.
that's okay. You're doing a really good job. Okay, all the way around. Oh, that's really awesome. You're doing so well. Alrighty. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors.
Wait.
Oh, okay. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut out our hands. Okay, yep, you cut out your hand.
They're basically the same size.
I know, my hands are small. Your hands are big. There you go. And while we're cutting our hand, I wanted to tell you a little bit about this story in the Gospel of John. So I have the Bible open to where we can find it in John 20. John 20? Yeah, John 20. And it's all about one of Jesus's friends named Thomas. And Thomas wasn't with the disciples when Jesus came to visit them after he had risen from the dead. So first Mary, his friend from the grave. Yeah, I think we're actually singing that on Sunday. And there's a verse about Thomas in that song, isn't there? So Thomas wasn't with his friends when Jesus came, and Jesus came to see his friends, and he showed them his hands. And do you remember what happened to Jesus' hands, Amelia?
He got nailed.
Yeah.
There was nails in his hands and feet.
There were nails in his hands and his feet. And so Jesus...
Oh, and he got stabbed.
And he got stabbed, yeah.
To make sure he was dead.
And so when Jesus came to see his friends, he showed them the holes in his hands, and he showed them the hole in his side. It doesn't say he showed them his feet, but, maybe he did that too. And he showed them, but his friend Thomas wasn't there. And so when Thomas came back, they were all really excited to tell him that Jesus had come and said, "Peace be with you." And Thomas said, "You guys are absolutely nuts. I don't believe a word you say."
I saw him die.
Exactly. I saw him die. And so he says, unless he comes and he shows me the marks in his hands and the hole in his side,
I won't believe you.
I won't believe you. So the story we get to hear is when Jesus comes and to Thomas, when Thomas is there, and he shows Thomas his hands. So here are our hands. And he shows Thomas the hole in his side, and Thomas says, "My Lord and my God." But I was thinking about that because sometimes Thomas gets kind of a bad reputation.
Mama, high five.
High five, clap. So sometimes Thomas gets a bad reputation because he didn't believe without seeing, but it seems to me the other disciples got to see too. So I love Thomas because I love questions, and I think Thomas was actually really smart. He asked Jesus his questions, and he asked for what he needed so that he could believe. So I thought, now that we've made our hands, if you want, you could glue a little hole in them if you want. You could make it like a hole where Jesus is. You want to make a hole or make a dot? No, that's kind of gory, isn't it? You're showing it to Dad. Okay.
No, I'm high-fiving them.
You're high-fiving Dad? Okay. But what I thought we would do is if and when, more like when we see Jesus, what questions are you going to ask? You want me to write it on your hand? No, I want you to write it right on your fingers. Take that finger and I want you to write on what you want to ask God or ask Jesus when you see Jesus. What is it that you want to ask Jesus about? So if you have a question, if there's something that you just always sort of wondered about, if there's something that you don't think is right with the world and you just wonder why, what would you ask Jesus about? So I wonder, Amelia, what you would ask Jesus about. I have a thought about something you might ask Jesus about. What would you ask Jesus about, do you think? You put your questions? Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I love you. Is that, oh, wow. Oh my gosh, Amelia, that's amazing.
For like this. Sorry, thank you, I love you.
Oh, I know. So yeah, so Amelia's written on her hand, I love you. What is this one? Why? Sorry, and thank you. So these are like different ways of praying, actually, and different categories of prayer. I wondered if you would ask Jesus about Reuben. Reuben was our dog, and Amelia still misses Reuben quite a lot. So I wondered if you would ask Jesus about Reuben. But that might go under I love you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wait.
Okay. Happy? And happy, things you're happy about. Oh, I love the why. I'm always asking why. Why? Where? How? So how can I help? Why does
Reuben.
R-E-U B-E-N. Yeah, Reuben. Where, how? I love the I love yous. I'm gonna take that. That's amazing, Amelia. And I love you.
Remember from like St. Mary's?
Yeah.
It was always like the categories.
The categories for praying. Yeah. I love you and thank you. So, oh, and Amelia's making sure I have nails. So on your hands,
Nails, Mom?
yeah, on your hands, you can write either, you can put the questions you have or what you would say to God when you meet Jesus. And also, or you could even do, as Amelia did, sort of different categories of things you would say to God. So, and I like that even better. So I changed it because you did that really well. So why? So when we see something and we wonder, why is that happening? We took a ride through a neighborhood and we saw a lot of people who were homeless. And I know that you had lots of questions and lots of, like, you had a lot of passion for that. So why? Yeah. And where? So always to remind ourselves where we see God, how we meet God. I was thinking today we met God when we saw all kinds of people who were smiling and then the birds singing. We've seen a lot of eagles lately. How can I help? How can I help? How can I do what you want me to do? And then I love yous, which is just saying how is God loving us and how are we loving God through the people we love. And thank you, which is a great one to always say. So we're gonna end, I think, there. And I hope you have fun making your hands. And if you can show me your hands, that'd be amazing. And maybe even Janet will put them on the doors, because as she's been doing with all our hearts. But you take care and be safe and be kind to each other, to borrow from Dr. Bonnie. God bless you. Bye-bye.